You can't jump over a volcano. Did you guys even get a permit for this?
What? No, even better, it's illegal. They could lock us in prison just for building the ramp. Every piece of this stunt could kill me horrifically. There's no better way to feel alive.
Leo, you're my little cousin. I can't let you go through with this.
But it's what I've always wanted. You know what I say? Life's too short. I will not grow old with regrets. I won't even grow old. Dude, I'm telling you, if I get to 25...
Oh my god, you really are 17. Okay, what's the setup?
Simple. A 100-meter drop into a raging volcano, at least 4 minutes of airtime, where I'll have to dodge molten steam and lava geysers before touching down on the sharpest rocks this red mountain has to offer. But of course, I'd still have to make it over the beast.
Well, hey there, Adam.
Shelby, I hope you're not eating people.
Hey, if they fall in, they fall in. I don't make the rules.
It's true. I make the rules. And I know I won't try my best unless I get burned alive and torn apart.
Could get burned alive.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Everyone, please take your seats. Cousin Leo is about to be burned alive and torn apart by a giant lava worm.
That's me.
Guess that's my cue. Thanks for coming by, cousin. No other family member would sign off on this.
I didn't sign off on this!
Well, I told them you did, but they wouldn't believe me unless you showed up.
Special thanks to Adam, standing right there at the top of the ramp with the baseball cap. Do you see him? He's the taller one. This guy knows the guy who's about to die, for allowing this severe, agonizing performance to take place.
Thanks, Adam.
Shelby, shut up!
Hey, you know what I'm thinking? No skateboard.
What?
Check this shit out! Adam, please. Shoot me in the head. A hospital can't contain me.
Oh, give it a rest. How much longer to the hospital?
Oh, this isn't an ambulance. You guys are going to jail.
Oh, Red Mountain. Can we all agree that this is one of the most underrated Sonic stages ever? Get ready to hear me shout that a million times in this video. SA1 Sonic has an insanely good second half. Speed Highway, Red Mountain, Sky Deck, Lost World, Final Egg. These are some top tier stages, people. Screw the casino, man. We got a big plane. To me, Red Mountain is the shortcut stage. Not that it has the biggest skips. More that its open vertical nature allows you to take so many skips. Naturally. And I ain't talking falling fast off a sideways stone. Instead, you just land Sonic in the right spots. No impossible homes, no combat corridors. You achieve huge skips by just moving the thumbstick. And trust me, you'll know where to go. The game makes efforts to tease the shortcuts all across this canyon. You'll see them in every segment I cover today. Hell, you know them already and are dying to tell me I missed one, you sniveling little cockroach. Oh yeah, also context for the stage. I always forget that. Sonic chases the egg carrier here to save Amy, and then Tails shows up and they fly into the sun and die. Also, this level is on Angel Island. You ever notice that? Ice Cap and Red Mountain are on Angel Island. Ice Cap on Angel Island. Can you believe it? Ice Cap of all things. Oh, also the music rips too. Thunderous themes with drastically opposing vibes. One feels like a fun birthday party, the other like a brutal beatdown. And same with the run. Map 1 is clever climbing across staggered spires. That's hard to say. But once we get inside, we lose our footing and start sweating. Sonic Sweat. You clicked on the right video, bro. A dynamic first half, second half, just like Speed Highway. And just like Speed Highway, we're gonna be showcasing this stage through both DX and DC. Now, I still don't own a DC, but I did still find one lying in a ditch outside, so I'll be running that with no additions, no mods, to stay as close to the original vision as possible. DX is running through my Xbox, which means it's using the PC port that you all hate. Oh boy. Which, stupid side tangent, but I want to know if anyone else has had this experience, just in life, generally. You ever explore a new fandom and accidentally wander into an argument? Like, what if you started a new show, famous show. You stumble onto a weird episode and say, hey, that was kinda different, kinda fun. And then someone else comes up and says, I'm gonna fucking kill you. That was me with DX. I knew it had its differences, but I didn't realize it got people so angry. Whenever I see this port discussed online, people just pop off, they go nuts. And believe me, I've done my research. I understand why, and I kind of agree with them too. But DX has never been a huge issue for me. I played it back in the day, even the shitty PC port. When I was a kid, I was just happy to play Sonic Adventure again. However, this series does inspect aesthetic, so the DC will be featured alongside Demon Extreme. So get ready to get mad at me. And finally, we'll just be looking at Sonic on the Mound. No Knuckles, no Gamma. I figure we save all their levels for a single video per character, since they're oh so small. But hey, that's the annoying HX justification segment out of the way. Now we get to the embarrassing HX analysis segment. And I ain't talking about the level. Snap those headphones on because it's music time. Mount Red, a symbol of thrill. Would you hear those horns, buddy? They ain't kidding. This song blasts out as a celebration, the starting gun to a fun run. Not only is the thrill symbolized, but also this feeling of competition. Picture this, the chants echo from crowds clogging the edges of every plateau, watching Sonic grab zip lines, rockets, and my heart. You got this, man! The drums ricochet like Sonic's shoes. Every big band flourish imitates the burst of a volcano, but trailing above it all are those simple keys. That's why it sounds like a competition to me. You got all this energy from the band, but the piano stands right in the center, plink plonking the anthem of this event I've made up in my mind. Soon the bass takes over from the horns and the piano starts twinkling down. You hear the drums kind of repeat themselves and the piano starts coming back up again. There's a lot of room given to it, it's noticeable, till finally it all leads up to this big explosion, an eruption. We get that long guitar solo plodding along. I appreciate the turn here because it reminds you that this is level 7. It might be fun, but bridges can collapse, rubble can explode, things can go wrong in the canyon, so watch your feet. The guitar holds a note for so long that the chanting finds some room to jump back in, and we recycle the track. The song is so large and monumental, like the Red Mountain Range, but I'm telling you, it's got that cheerful energy. The drums and the flourishes, the chants, the pianos, this track always puts me in a confident headspace, even if I'm facing something tough. And more people should talk about it. Why doesn't this song come up in the convo more? Is it because it's short? It's pretty short, but it's short and strong. Show a little red respect. Now, Red Mountain has an incredible second song that we will get into later, but for now, we gotta clamber up our first section, the Carabiner Climb. Before we begin our ascent, let's eyeball that starting shot. SA1 typically plops you right in without much fanfare. The plateau features some trees, crates, kikis, and a rocket, but your exit is open just right up. Visually, we quickly notice we're high up, through the fence, distant valley wall, and these clouds. But Red Mountain is not looking very red in DX. Let's swap things over to DC, which stands for Do Color. Red Mountain lives up to its name on the cast. It's volcanic, vegetative, the rock is at its boiling point, scorchy detailing has us catching burn marks, bright green grass and fences beam in the sunlight, plus the clouds are doubled, rushing at different speeds with a bright white overlay. DC is classic in 3D. It's a Genesis tile set draped over a canyon, a proper pairing with that exciting music. Now, DX tones down the saturation and aims for something more realistic. The grass is sparse, the trees are black, and everything is muted. A lot of visual changes are stripped even further with the PC port, and we're left with this gray, ashy smoke, rather than a double sheet of cloud, which I honestly prefer. The flat blanket always felt like a programming error, one wrong zero stretching a texture across the map, so I prefer to see as little of it as possible, and DX's mistakes become the easiest look for me. A lot of the distant landscape is silhouetted too, which, like Speed Highway, makes things appear more ominous and expansive. DX also fades structures in rather than popping them into place, an effect that keeps the mountain constant. Now, I actually have preferences for both aesthetics here, but we got a mountain to cover. Let's start climbing. Carabiner Climb is a big vertical obstacle. That's how you say carabiner, right? That keeps a lot of its navigation hidden. Where Windy Hill lays them flat and Ice Cap keeps them cramped, Red Mountain hides each next vertical step around this large spire. Every turn presents you with a new challenge, or shortcut. A key feature of this start is how much you can skip it by playing smart. Presented right at our first rocket, chasing the capsule will have you ducking spike balls, grabbing monkey bars, and even facing some badniks. But with a hard thumbstick push, you can land above all of it from the missile's apex. Now there's more strict camera tricks. You don't know where this bridge leads if you're speeding through, and it only turns once we hit this line, which again obscures the next switch behind this spike ball. With this rocket, we get the final creep, of the Carabiner climb, whatever. Many more structures appear, with even a whole man-made tunnel ushering us forward. As we pass the collapsing road and hit our last spring, the game winks at us by centering this antenna with its big red bumper hugging the top, teasing an alternate path that uses just one spring. But we instead bounce on our lowly deflated loser spring to the top of the spire, and we're done. To me, Carabiner Climb is doing two vert-tastic things. First is illustrating shortcuts by showing us things from up high. Both of the major skips are presented from a bird's eye view, and both are achieved by taking advantage of your own movement. You don't hit a spring to reach the antenna, you literally move yourself over there. Second is staggering a vertical course with a sedentary camera. If you think about it, these obstacles are extremely simple. If you splayed the climb out, it would look like child's play. But with our camera lagging along, it sells the ascent because you're tackling each obstacle one by one. AKA, it feels much more arduous and lengthy because our view is so tight. Not only that, this camera does good work at hiding items on this mound. The top of the tunnel holds some speed shoes if you twist far enough, and the first monkey bars actually has a safety ledge to drop onto. Look at this guy, he's so safe. And back in the cast, we get some mercy with the visuals, because DX's ground texture blends too well with the walls, but DC keeps the grass loud and green, marking each platform and contrasting it further with the white clouds. Same with the balls and the bots. Even the collapsing bridge is clearly separated. It's black against green. Even the exit bridge is more separated. It's full-on red. Regardless of the version, if we focus on the geometry here, it's a great intro to Red Mountain, a stacked vertical platforming portion with clever skips. But no more trail guides as we venture down into Volcano Valley. For such a vertical zone, this is our most horizontal stretch. Sonic and Tails, he's here too, by the way, leap from spires and swing down zip lines. And down is a big feature here because now that we've hit the top, we're actually going to fly below the cloud line. But first, let's cross a bridge. Now, as a wee child, that's me, see how wee I am? I thought this part was nothing. Well, turns out I was an extreme gamer in my youth because I was just skillfully dodging explosions and earning my one-up. Yes, this funky ground texture is not just for show, because give it a second and it will erupt and fling poor Sonic forward. Do this on the second vent and you will actually ride the explosion right over to our next spire. But the vents ain't the only secret technique here. That is one curvy looking mountain, ain't it? Please keep it in your pants and get back on your feet, because we are gonna spin dash up the slope to find 2 ring capsules and a life. They're just giving them away. Why? Now we're set to swing even lower with this zip line. Sonic swings below the monkey bars, and all these floating propellers provide exciting near misses. The camera runs you into each one before changing direction at the last second. You ride into a tunnel, which masks your dip below the clouds. You see that? There it goes. Before finally getting this hard cut on the exterior. The volcanic aesthetic is really bursting out now, especially on the Dreamcast. Multiple skulls spew fire under a crispy bridge, geysers are now erupting as we spring forward, and even the walls look singed by the ever-present heat. If we stay our course, we'll again be cramped between 2 walls, where Kikis pepper down bombs as we open up another rocket escape, which again lets us float to a shortcut. Cross the spiciest monkey bars known to mankind, sorry Tails, and then we're homing some spinners. But if you hate monkey bars, you can home these spinners backed by our first geyser and utilize some jump pads to skip all of that. And they are apropos jump pads because you bounce between different spires. The pointy rocks of Red Mountain are a large part of this level's aesthetic, so it's nice to genuinely use them like this. Skip a spinner and you're spared in the pit with these 2 crescents and a dash pad. Grab that thing and you're given a head start on this seesaw segment. And after some really silly misses, we're up and out of the valley. The Volcano Valley. So, sorry, I'm eating. So, I give huge props to what the Vol Val is doing here. You jump, you ride, you run. It's a lot of forward movement, but between that, you soar like a bird, plummet below the cloud barrier, and climb out of the depths. The horizontal progression is still vertical. It's like a craggy sine wave of magma movement. Each volcanic vertex embellishes the setting by letting us see so much. I love words. Plus, you can jump on these for some reason. What's up with that? And as for the cast in the past, well, Volcano Valley is the perfect place to separate the aesthetics. Let's use the high ledge at the start. The silhouettes of DX make this observation view muddled, since the purple canyon intersects with the skybox, whereas DC keeps the distance lit, and the red colors match with the rocks on the ridge. However, when we take our spring, I flip my opinions, because the pop-in on the spires is very apparent, and the stark white clouds at this height look more like the floor of a shallow, foamy ocean, whereas in DX, the background fades into view, making the journey in Red Mountain feel connected. And the reduced color of the clouds makes the canyon appear much deeper and more perilous. The good news is, the actual movement through here is satisfying, no matter the console. Shortcuts are intuitive, just like the climb, the geyser launch and the zipline swing flow smoothly, and you're still active on the controller at that split path, homing up, jumping around, killing bots, and making it up these stupid seesaws, god damn it! But hold up, the next mountain is looking bigger than normal. This isn't just any mountain, this be a mount! This be Mount Red. A mount so big, they even wrote it on the soundtrack. It's a symbol of thrill, baby! So we got a lot to get to. But first, what the hell is that to our right? Be it a light speed trail, it be. And it will earn us 2 extra lives and an honest-to-God super fast shortcut up the entire mount. However, let's climb the red normally and trudge forward first. You are on the first road of the mount. Here we get a funny switch up with that slow, sneaky camera, because the more you turn, the more you realize it's hiding nothing. Mount Red is the culmination of the exterior map, and you really do feel that by the way they space out the surrounding canyon. So we successfully snag the switch and shoot up. Finally, some honest-to-God lava. Been waiting to jump in all day. To continue forward, we just need a monkey across some bars, or spin dash the pit. Also, missed opportunity to hide something on the ledge here, which I don't think they want you getting on anyways. The winds of the mount sure like to slide you right back into the magma hole, and bouncing to the other side nets you nothing neither. Whatever. Beyond the pit is a sneaky item capsule, but more importantly, our final zip-tastic line. And this one is all for show. It does not hold a natural angle. It instantly cuts to these wide shots of Sonic tracing his way back down the mount and into this trapdoor at the base. All that work shooting to the top, just to go right back down. We even gotta unlock a switch just to start the whole ordeal. But hold on a red hot seconds. Keep your pants on. Red Mountain teased us with those skips earlier. It taught us to move our body to shorten the gap. Can't we just skip the whole circle by jumping to the switch at the start? You sure can. But if we go up just to go down, what if we just go down at the start? Well, let's try it at the zip line. Let's drop down a little lower, brain boy. Hey, look! It's the ending! You did it, buddy! It's like a big beanbag chair made out of worms. And that is what I love about Mount Red. It's the tallest, most verticalist gauntlet in the entire valley, but if we employ the tricks we've learned, we can sneak our way down in seconds. It's not even exploiting some crooked rocks to spin dash from. You can solve it just from your own instinct on replays. But let's not gloss over all of the mount, because it sure does shine back in '99. Or maybe simmer is better. Or sear. Definitely scorch, because when compared to the Carabiner climb, Mount Red looks like it exists post-eruption. The reds burn to a brown at the top. The lava glows as this neon orange swill. Yeah, don't touch that stuff. Rainboy, what did I say? And while the white clouds stay a bit too strong for my taste, they do sell the descent much more as we begin the climb above them and then end it underneath. Plus the harsh blacks at the bottom signal your completion. It's done! It's over! Do I die when I go down this hole? I deserve it. All in all, Mount Red continues that Red Mountain tradition of stunting on vertical environments. And it does that by demonstrating the biggest skip of the level. Alright, I've had enough of this sizzling gulch. Let's drop down the trapdoor and find someplace cooler. And now I'm gonna have to ask you to stay in your damn seats, because we got another red hot track coming through, and I ain't talking about map 2, I'm talking about Red Hot Skull. I love this track. It goes so hard. It truly do. Everything about it is so loud. The bass, the guitar, the drums, it's all so clear and just thumping around, man. Every instrument has equal space. They even have equal moments. Parts where everyone else shuts up to let one man shine. And that crisscross/supercat sample screeches constantly. I love that they give you the full chunk, siren and scream, right at the start, multiple times so you know it. But for the rest of the song, it's siren only, saving the scream for specific crescendos. Red Hot Skull makes me feel beaten down, like I'm falling apart, sweating in a cave that's melting away. The guitar is shambling ahead, and each breakdown is like getting punched in the face. It's the song that fights me, a boss fight of my spirit. And I swear, there's so many good short little, solo moments here. They got that Western saloon piano. It's like someone's waiting for a pin to drop, someone's gonna shoot me in the head. That short part where they let the guitar tumble down, and then they repeat that part with the bass, like a little bit later. Plus, they echo the guitar halfway through, like you're in a cave. Can you believe it? It's so rough, acting like the backing track of a bare-knuckle fight. And of the Red Mountain visitors, I actually tie this song to Gamma the most, mainly because of his boss fight here. All I see is Gamma dunking his brother's head in the lava after getting rock'em and sock'emed over and over again. I know I keep It's Just Sewing, but it's just so relentless, and I will stake my claim that Red Hot Skull is one of the most underrated songs in all of Sonic. It never gets any mentions officially, and you know, it's probably because it uses that sample so fucking much. But whatever, it's a tough, ruthlessly bitter follow-up to the celebratory Symbol of Thrill, and like the wild song pairing in Speed Highway, it's a risk that paid off. Red Hot Skull. Once you hear that first sample, you know you fucked up, cause now you're heading down one of my harshest set-piece names of all time. The Skull Slide. Patrick, don't you love Red Hot Skull? Crisscross is the best. I can make that joke. SpongeBob met Sonic. Officially, we know that. Adam, this is short. I know. But it's just sticking out of my mind, and I need you to pull it out of me. Help! After so much vertical adventuring outside, we get a long, narrow chute to activate some Sonic speed. And that first slope plunges so hard, all you see is the next pillar. And those near-miss columns are fun to speed around. You've mock-speeded in Wave Ocean. You know how cool this looks. Bottom of the slope tapers off into this larger room. Right side has two threats of a slowdown, but a small ramp to boost you back up. Left side has that big jump. Careful not to overshoot and bonk your head. Or this spider. Poor guy. The speed shoes here will assist with the next room, which surprises us with a wall run. However, the 4x3 does sort of hide the danger here. You barely get a look at that lava you're darting past. There are platforms in there if you fall in, but speed shoes aren't even required to sprint on this curve, so you'll be fine. And finally, we get another cramped enclosure that bounces the road to conceal the upcoming arena. And that's the neat part about the Skull Slide. It hides each upcoming area, just like the rest of Red Mountain. Every transition lowers the ceiling and squeezes the walls, so you're taking this track on the fly, akin to that meandering camera we got outside. To me, it's just a short and sweet little speed shoot before we burn ourselves alive. But when we take it in the past, some of the suspense is botched because, frankly, you see too much. The road is orange, the skulls are clear, and the green is sharp. Like, check out our wall run. As we turn in DX, we catch some lava and rocks floating in the pit. Scary wall run with safety pads. But in DC, the rim is so colorful that it presents itself as another path. Scary wall run or safety pads. This room becomes less of a surprise and more of a choice. I think DX's realistic slant kinda blows outside, but on the interior, the darkness plays well with the creepy atmosphere and the harsh music. DC really is a skull slide, a fun foray into the volcano, but DX is a wrong turn, where we just gotta make it up as we go along, cause we can't see anything. So while DC stays smart and red out in the mountain, DX captures the mood of the caves much better. But the mood is about to sour, like everyone else who just listened to me bash the Dreamcast, as we enter the final arena of Red Mountain. Emergency Eruption. This is it, the grand finale. A platforming gauntlet balanced upon a sea of growing lava. Many homes will keep your tail fresh, but some clever jumps will have you emerging before the eruption. Let's take it by Lava Rise, shall we? Rise 1 has us hopping across the right side of the cavern, but make sure you grab this life on the left, so now you can't tell me I missed it, you son of a bitch. Now these crispy pancakes got a bit of buoyancy to them. Chilling on the edge will start to dip it into the spicy soup, and provide a temporary ramp to spin dash from, if you dare. The spinners give you a nice little chain and tease upcoming traversal. The final curve houses some geysers, easy to avoid void, but their main purpose is to conceal the increase in lava. But Rise 1, what do we say? Well, it's pretty dang straightforward, isn't it? The hops are short, and there's only one cluster of spinners, with a final turn that's painless to navigate. It's basically a beginner's run to the rest of the eruption. So let's double the fun and get to Rise 2. Soaring into the sky brings the lava up with us, and those crispy dominoes tumble into the minestrone. This lava rise does more than just bring out the appetizers, however, as it also hides the lava geysers underneath. Traversal is just like before, but with all that empty room, cutting your own escape is encouraged. Now we get our next curve, and this time they are hiding nothing. The open road quickly gets swallowed up by the magma, and you gotta duck under this overhang just to stay alive. It is a little cheap that there is no warning when they yank the lava blanket up the y-axis. Some type of wave effect would have made things a tad more fair, but there's more to Rise 2, as now we get 2 whole enemies. And wouldn't you know it, they're swinging flames around. These can be tricky to kill because one of their loops will intersect with the body of the other. There's also this giant machine, which does beg the question, what the hell is going on in Red Mountain? Eggman is siphoning lava or something? But like, what's with the jail cells, the electric chairs, the spooky ooky ghosts jiving in their prison? What does this thing even do? Is it a lava sucker? Buddy, I got that covered. Whatever, don't pay attention to it, because there's more jumps into a final soul, and then you're bouncing to Rise 3. But Rise 2, huh? You now feel the lava eating up your path. It extends across the dominoes and takes the curve. The enemies are abundant, and this is the only time you come face to face with the interior aesthetic. Big, chunky machine, long row of spooky ooky ghosts. Most importantly though, you're making your own shortcuts now. None of these kills are required. In fact, you can escape Rise 2 just from spin dash jumps, but now the lava is gonna jump straight on up to Rise 3. The big danger of Rise 3 is these collapsible bridges. Unfortunately, they aren't too challenging, as nothing slows your speed before any of these bridges. With a low ceiling and a burning floor, the aesthetic is the true enemy, but that won't melt our icy hearts as we dash pad into the sky. Then you miss the capsule, crash 2 Kikis, and grab a bunch of rings. Yahoo! Eruption over. That was Mario. Yahoo! So Sonic's speed eats these bridges up, and the mega skip here is obvious from the jump. Instead, Rise 3 is all about the look. The scariest part about it is the sea of magma threatening your pit. Hence why I see Rise 3 better served as a visual set piece. But we are not done yet, because we got a final tunnel, and I didn't make a whole thing out of it this time. You're welcome. That's because it ain't doing much we haven't seen already. The robots hang above you, and the hammers are slow as molasses. To me, they could have enhanced this stretch with one little move. Shake the screen! The run out of here is framed as an escape. You just survived the lava, and if it's been coming up, it's probably coming behind you, right? Some visual movement could have heightened the idea that the volcano was still erupting. It would also make the hazards more dangerous, because that screen ain't still. Better yet, just swap the skulls for mini lava geysers. You guys ever been on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad in Disneyland? I'm talking like that. Rocks popping, skulls exploding, get out before the cave swallows you whole. And that's my roller coaster ref crossed off again. But the rocket grab, that is still radical. Beautifully framed in DX, with the light shining down in the darkness. My savior! Even if the camera smashes through the wall, I'm glad they point up towards the sky, to give you that hold your breath breaching feeling. And on the final climb, we crane right down, allowing us to use that thumbstick shortcut Red Mountain has been teaching us this whole time to land right on the capsule. And after all that, the emergency is over. But it's quite the eruption. I mean, you have to end Red Mountain in a volcano, right? A lot of the platforming here is pretty plain, and more emphasis is placed on scaring you through the atmosphere. I don't mean like spooky ooky ghosts. I'm talking surprise geysers under the lava, rising the lava as you fall to your feet, crowding the road with enemies. They're juking you out through the environment. Because in hindsight, this eruption is more gracious than previous stages. You can singe yourself and jump right back up, which means aesthetics are a big part of it. And again, I feel that the Dreamcast misses the mark. A bit. Just a little bit. Don't get too angry. The bright neon nature of this eruption makes the traversal obvious. The lava is so orange. It's like a big flashing warning sign. And the green borders of every platform mark exactly where to jump and land. It does not look like a natural emergency. Even the final stretch looks safe. It's flat and open and tall, whereas DX actually singes things like DC did outside. So ultimately, I think the Dreamer's fun iconic colors paint the mountain properly outside, but once we drop into the darkness and the danger increases, DX makes this feel much more like a level 7. All that said, both Dreamcast and DreamX still conclude with this climax in the mountain, and it's a perfect end to this adventure. You traverse the canyons outside, you ride the lava inside. The camera is casually surprising you, just like the exterior, and there are tons of shortcut opportunities. The funniest part though, there is no time limit with this eruption. The caves are putting on a charade, aka you've been juking out the setting this whole time, but now it's juking you. That's hilarious. I have a grand time during this disaster, and it's a strong blueprint for things like Power Plant later down the road. Or should I say, red print. As the Sonic adventurers roll their eyes at me, we soar out of the depths of the creepy cave system, land square on that egg capsule, and inhale that fresh red mountain air. Alright, I gotta explain to my uncle why his son has burn marks and worm bites. But before I make this call, how does Red Mountain make you feel? For me, I feel like I'm cutting corners in a deadly outdoor competition. It's the music, mainly. I'll admit it. I can't hear a symbol of thrill without imagining hordes of people crowding the mountain range like an F1 track. SA1 points the camera down a lot on springs, and in the mountain range, it's constant. This lets players not only plan their attack, but also discover shortcuts by themselves. Since you are constantly climbing in this level, the highest path, aka shortcut, always pokes its head out at the apex of these jumps. It's a level that keeps revealing its hand, and therefore taking advantage of these skips makes you feel like you're getting crafty in this proverbial competition that I see in my brain. Maybe it's just me, whatever. But Red Mountain is doing more than just saving time. It also provides us with the most vertical stage in SA1, and I love how they handled it. Sonic runs fast, that's his thing. He needs big, long runways, and these tall spires are for echidnas. Ugh, they stink too. But what if we circle the runway around the spire? What if we hang the camera back so each turn presents a fresh challenge? What if we make the simple stretches go up and down, make each skip employ height? Red Mountain is still a fast Sonic stage. It just spirals all that runway so you don't notice it. And when you get cramped inside, they roll it out tenfold, and then finally whirl you around a volcanic eruption which literally has you climbing to survive, and then running straight to escape. Level 7 does it all! And when speaking on DC versus DX, I can honestly go both ways. Dreamcast gives Red Mountain much more of an identity. It honors the name. This is quite literally a red mountain. But in DX, this is just a natural muddy mound, buried underneath patchy grass. You only clue into the name when you meet that first geyser. Oh, it's a red mountain because there's lava. Do you see what I mean? In DC, the theme of the zone is immediate, because it's painted onto the landscape. You see it as red first. But in DX, you only discover the source of the red halfway through. You see it as a mountain first. Therefore, I appreciate the aesthetic of 1999 on the exterior. It echoes that literal style of the classic era. Marble Zone has marble. Aquatic Ruin has aquatic ruins. Red Mountain has red mountains. But once we drop inside, DC continues to stay loud and proud. It does not tone down the color, even with the harsh tone of the music. And the lava really does look like bright orange soup. I'm sorry, I do mean that. But DX gets dingy and grim. The spiders meld into the darkness, and that focus on realism makes the eruption a surprise. So each version has its strengths and weaknesses. But no matter the year, both have satisfying conclusions, where you take that all-familiar rocket out of the cavern. What started the competition ends it, and you cap things off with an open-air view of the whole range. No more spires, just clouds, as you realize you just descended through hell only to end up at the highest peak of the mountain. Don't you see, it tells a story, a race gone awry, only to succeed above it all. You fell all the way down, you fly all the way up. Full experience of the size, full experience of the setting. Rock spires, deep pits, active volcanoes. It's a vertical playground where you make the escape. Now that's a stage, folks. That's a Red Mountain. And that is how we'll leave things today. But my fellow climbers, you must tell me, how does Red Mountain make you feel? Does the vertical structure provide some fresh Sonic fun? Do you prefer DC or DX? Do you prefer map 1 or map 2? And why doesn't this stage come up in discussion that much? I want to hear your theories. Well, it probably does. It's not like I'm chatting it up on Twitter, and I'm proud of it. Screw that place. No, but seriously, I love me some Red Mountain. This was one of the first stages I thought of covering beyond the big favorites. I feel like I say that every time. I hope we get an eclectic spread of stages to look back on in the future. Angel Islands and Radical Trains. Know what I'm saying? But now I say this. Which level is next? Well, I feel like we've taken a boost break for far too long. It's time to get back to HD Unleashed. And if I'm saving Adabat and Eggman Land for the end, then I'm sure you can guess what level is coming up next. Is it Adabat or Autobot? You guys need to tell me before I make that video later in the year. I don't want to look like an idiot again. Chun Nan Apotos. At least I got Spaglobia correct. But also, FYI, don't be surprised if you see something pop up on April Fool's Day. In the meantime, might have a fun little treat for you guys cooking in the background. It has nothing to do with cooking, don't take that literally. But for now, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this vid, please consider liking, subscribing, chatting down below. I want to hear your thoughts. Talk to me. That sounds desperate. Please, I want to hear you. Whatever. Or even hitting the bell so you can see when my wacky Fool's Day vid goes up. Hell, check back on April 1st, you'll get it then. But whatever, I gotta get my ass back into the world adventure. So I'll see you guys later. Careful on the zip lines. Don't drink the lava. And, peace!